Is it time to start Geno?
I guess you could argue it's time to start Geno, but I'm going to just say no to Geno. I have seen enough of Geno Smith. But I'm here to say, first of all, I've also seen enough of Ryan Fitzpatrick because obviously I thought the Jets were going to be a wild card team. I thought Ryan Fitzpatrick would be able to repeat basically what he did a year ago. Yes, you told me. You told me. Like there's some heavenly decree that every other year Ryan Fitzpatrick has to be awful, right?
Yep.
Is that how life works? It's somehow like
For him it does.
Maybe it's a papal decree. I don't know what it is, but it's just like that's it. You know, every other year. I don't know why, but last year obviously he was pretty great. 31 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Jets went 10-6, barely missed the playoffs, in part because he failed in the end against Buffalo. But I was wrong about Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Jets. Now, they did lose Eric Decker, who was his second leading receiver last year, and it really put him in a bind because it's sort of Brandon Marshall or bust now. And as Todd Bowles said last night, they just flat out could not protect him. And if you can't protect that little man, he is going to have a long, hard night at Arizona. But I have seen enough of Geno Smith to conclude I do not want to see any more of him with the Jets because he is not a franchise quarterback. I did not love Geno before the draft, so I'm not being 20/20 hindsight here. I dug in before the draft. I said, I don't see it. I would not waste a high pick on him. Remember, he started that final year at West Virginia 5-0. He was the leading Heisman contender at that point, and he lost 6 of his last 8. And I said often on my old show, did not love his body language, did not love his leadership intangibles and the way he handled losing. And as Jet starter now, he is 11-18. As Jet starter, he has lost 10 of his last 12. As Jet starter, or at least as Jets quarterback, 27 touchdowns to 36 interceptions, which is Ryan Fitzpatrick-like, dare I say. And we've had some minor to major off-the-field episodes. There's some questionable behavior on the internet to start off with, and he was fined for losing his cool and shouting a bad word at a heckler. He missed a meeting in San Diego before a road game. He said he got his watch messed up when they moved to West Coast time. I don't know what the real story was. And then, as we all well know, he got punched in the jaw over an unpaid airfare in the locker room, and the point being that anybody, especially a backup linebacker, would have the audacity, would dare to punch the quote-unquote franchise quarterback in the jaw. It was incomprehensible to me. So just for me, I'm going to go on the record once again because I said so before the draft. Bryce Petty is the guy I want to see next. I want to see Bryce Petty because I was a big fan of Bryce Petty, as our followers and faithful viewers know, when he was at Baylor. Last year at Baylor, 62 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Why the Jets have not given Bryce Petty a shot, I don't know. He's had a wounded shoulder here for the last few weeks. I think he's healthy enough to play. I don't like Christian Hackenberg. I don't know why they wasted a high pick on him. So I want to see Bryce Petty before I see Geno Smith. I'm just going to say no to Geno.
Did you get up this morning? Did you awake this morning and just like was just in a foul mood?
No, I was in a great
mood. You don't
mood.
like Fitzpatrick. You don't like Geno.
No.
Bryce
but
Petty.
my Cowboys are 5-1. That's all I care about.
My question is to the Jets, what are you waiting for? You know what Ryan Fitzpatrick is. He is Cinderella. He'll get dressed up for the ball, and the moment he's supposed to appear, he turns back into a pumpkin. And I told you this, Skip, this was going to happen. There's a reason why he's a journeyman quarterback that's been on 5, 6, 7 different teams, and he's never taken any of those teams to the playoffs. There's a reason for that. You don't all of a sudden get good, get great in year 10, year 11. That's not going to happen. We know who and what you are. He's an average backup quarterback. He can fill in admirably for, 4 or 5 games. But that's it, Skip. That's it.
But really, last year, 31-15 that's better than backup.
Because I know this is what he does. He has the one good year, and then what does he do? Turn around and do the following year. He got that big contract. You saw it already, Skip. You got the big contract in Buffalo. Played great, got big money, and then what happened? Didn't even make it through the end of the season because he was already on the bench. And look, I get both quarterbacks are in the final year of their deals. But if Ryan Fitzpatrick is what he is and you know what why not give Geno? Even if you're not going to bring Geno back, you know you're not bringing Ryan Fitzpatrick back. Why not give him an opportunity? They keep saying, well, Ryan Fitzpatrick gives us the best opportunity to win. He also gives you the best opportunity to lose because you know he's going to put the ball in harm's way. He was slightly above 50% last night. That's horrible, Skip. And Coach Bowles said, you know, we couldn't protect him. You can have results or you can have excuses, but you can't have both. So which is it? Either he can get the job done and you can win, or he can't and you move on. So how much longer are we going to go on? You're not making the playoffs. You're not. At 1-5,
no.
With Fitzpatrick the way he is, you're not making the. Now, I'm not going to place all this at Ryan Fitzpatrick's feet. They can't make Skip. They're 28th in sacks. They're 30th in pass defense. That side of the ball, you would think they would be better. They got 3 first-round D linemen. They got Revis a first-round. They got Calvin Pryor, David Harris, who didn't play last night. He was a second-round pick. So they're loaded on that side of the football. And that side has let them down. But Ryan Fitzpatrick has not played. And to think, he wanted like long-term contract. You know, he wanted 50, 60, 70 million dollars with like 30 million guaranteed. For what, in year 10? Nobody's giving you that kind of money with your resume when they already know what you are, Skip. Granted, you say you've seen enough, but it's hard for me to be able to judge a quarterback after 29 starts. Yeah, he's come in and he hadn't looked.
That's a lot of starts now. 29.
So how many starts did Fitzpatrick have?
God, it seems like 159.
So we know what he is and we know what he's capable of doing. I don't believe he's going to turn this around. Give Geno a chance. And if he look, there's a great possibility. They have 4 quarterbacks. They're the only team in the NFL that have 4 quarterbacks on their roster. And there's a very, very good chance that none of these 4
there's a chance. I would agree.
Can take the Jets where they need to be.
But here's what gets me about Ryan Fitzpatrick. Remember this year, not last year, the game at Buffalo. He lit up Buffalo. Buffalo has now won 4 straight games. Maybe they hadn't found themselves at that point, but this was in Buffalo. Ryan Fitzpatrick goes for 374 yards against a defense that's now playing at a very high level that tore apart Colin Kaepernick for the most part last week, as they have with several quarterbacks. And it's hard for me off that game to say he's a bust this year. But the other 5 have been relative to extreme disasters.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
The one against Kansas City it happens to
everybody.
everybody.
This is how he fools people. Because you look, as you keep alluding to, in 2015, 31 TDs. I think that's a Jets record. 15 INTs. And so you're like, man, okay, this is the year. He's going to follow up that year with another one of these years. But he hasn't done that before. And in sports and all the analytics, you look back at previous performances, you look at previous history and numbers, and they tell you, they show you that Ryan Fitzpatrick was not going to have that similar of a season in 2016. But they ignored all the facts, all the analytics, all the people that got these degrees, the MITs, the Harvard that sits down and study numbers. They disagree. All that doesn't matter. He's going to be the exception, and he's not.